All right, good afternoon and welcome to the Virtual Graphic Novel Club. I'm Erica Ware.
I'm rolling well, man.
And today we'll be covering one of DC's youngest heroes. And he doesn't stay young forever, but you know how that goes. We're covering DC's Beast Boy. We're not going to, actually today is not going to be, we've covered him before and when we covered Teen Titans, but now we're going to get an in-depth look at him because it is all about Beast Boy today, the green, Mr. Mean Green. So let's see. Beast Boy first premiered in Doom Patrol number 99 in 1965. A lot of times people equate him only with Teen Titans, but actually his first appearance was in Doom Patrol. Garfield Gar Logan is his full name. He had a rare disease that caused his parents, Mark and Marie Logan, to administer him a experimental genetic treatment that involved the DNA of animals that were resistant to the disease as a potential cure. But this experiment in turn turned poor Garth green. His eyes turned green, his skin turned green, and his hair turned green. It also gave him the ability to shapeshift into any animal at will, with just one important caveat: whatever form of that animal he turned into, the animal itself would also be green. So it was, you always knew who you always knew who Beast Boy was because the animal would be green. So if he turned into an elephant, it would be a big, huge green elephant. Unfortunately, after curing their son, they were killed in an accident, and Garth was taken to a local tribe leader and friend of the Logans, King Tawabi, who stepped in to care for him. But then the arrangement only worked for so long because certain members of his tribe were plotting against the Logan family in secret, and they hired a band of mercenaries to steal Garth away from the family for good. So even before his parents were killed in the accident, the tribe members were plotting to kill the family anyway. I guess they didn't like the fact that they lived in their little area. I don't know. It never explained, but the mercenaries took Garth back to America, where he was, where they used him in criminal acts, and eventually, then he's still a kid at this time. So the Logan family estate was actually, there was an attorney over the estate that went to find Garfield, and that man was Nicholas Galtry. He stepped in as Gar's legal guardian, but that was not the end of Gar's sad story, because Galtry tried to kill him to steal the estate from him. So he got out of one bad situation with the mercenaries to get into another bad situation with his legal guardian at this time. Galtry tried to kill Garth and steal his estate, but Doom Patrol actually ended up saving Garfield's life. And on top of that, so they stepped in, saved Garth's life, and he became a member of Doom Patrol at this time too. He began training as a superhero. So Beast Boy was with Doom Patrol between 1965 and 1968. Doom Patrol members Elasti-Girl and Mento were adoptive parents to Garth, and during this time also he tried to join Teen Titans, but they said he was too young. So this was when Teen Titans, well, just Teen Titans, they were consisting of, you had Wonder Girl, Robin, Flash, Kid Flash, and Aquaman.
Yeah, the original girl.
Yeah, the original Aqualad. Those were and sometimes Speedy. Green Arrow's sidekick. They said he was too young, so he went back and continued to train with Doom Patrol, and he stayed with them with his adoptive parents. So after 68, I think Doom Doom Patrol ended sometime in the 70s. Beast Boy resurfaces in the late 70s as the member of the short-lived Teen Titans West. We'll talk about them a little bit later. But then he actually joins the new Teen Titans, which premiered in 1980. While he was with Teen Titans West, after he left Doom Patrol, and we'll get into why he left Doom Patrol later because they ended, he was also an actor in Hollywood, and he was able to be an actor with the green skin because he was able to play aliens and things like that. And people didn't know that he was actually not an alien, but he was just a boy with green skin, or a young man by this time. So he joins the new Teen Titans in 1980, and that consists of the new team of Robin, Starfire, Raven, Donna Troy, and Cyborg. He no longer goes, also during this time he changes his name to Changeling. Yes, so, and I'm just gonna cover some of his. So we have Doom Patrol here, 1965 to 1968. Elasti-Girl is on the left. I don't see Mento in this picture though. Is that him at the bottom?
That's him at the bottom.
Yeah, okay, he's at the bottom in the middle. Then we have the new Teen Titans, one I just covered. This ran from 1980 to 1996. That's important to remember. Because in the late 90s, you have Teen Titans West and Teen Titans Los Angeles. A lot of these members, you have Speedy, Robin, Kid Flash, Wonder Girl, the Harlequin. And that is not the same Harlequin, am I correct?
Right, that's not the same.
Yeah, okay. And Mal, who was, Mal Duncan, who was, what did he call himself? He changed his name a lot too. But yeah, Mal Duncan. Hawk and Dove was there. Batgirl? Okay. Lilith. I know, it's like Robin 2.0. Golden Eagle, Beast Boy, and Lilith. Right, so in the late 1990s, he joins, he resurrects the Teen Titans West. He tries again, goes back after he leaves the new Teen Titans, and he goes back to Teen Titans West. He tries to bring that team back, and he starts his acting career again. They halted the original Teen Titans, but what brought them back together to Titans is Victor Stone, aka Cyborg, became infected with a devastating virus that caused his body to mutate and go rogue, and Vic's corrupted form was such a threat, and it forced the original team to come back together, and that's what we see here with Beast Boy, Starfire, Robin, and Raven. And they shortened their name to Titans during this time to save their friend. But they stayed together after the crisis, so they did not disband. They differentiated themselves from the newer, younger, along this time, also in the late 90s, DC brought in Young Justice. So you have Young Justice out there, and that was up by Batman. Batman started Young Justice. And so they wanted to kind of say, hey, we're the Titans, like the original team. So, but in 2003, this particular version of Titans ended. I think it was canceled, but they basically wrote it off as Donna Troy was killed in 2003, and from robotic Superman clone killed her, and Nightwing actually disbanded the group. So Beast Boy then joined the Young Justice. And he joined the Young Justice as not a team member, but as a leader. This time, Garth, Starfire, and Cyborg stayed to help lead the Young Justice. And they became teachers to the new generation of Teen Titans. In New 52, he became, when DC rewrote a lot of their Prime members' stories, he became part of Reimagined as, and Roland, you talked about this before with Swamp Thing,
Right.
with the red, and the red is connected to the bot, like, isn't that?
That's all animal life on the planet.
Okay.
Within the biome. Yeah.
So with his connection with the red, he became a member of the Ravagers, and they, instead of his skin being green this time, it was red, and he was bright red actually, and his power stemmed from the relationship with the red. So the Ravagers was canceled after 13 issues. Didn't last long. And so then after that, he rejoined the Teen Titans, and he actually returned to his normal color of green. And he had much more of his personality of the New 52 personality, like the pre-New 52.
Okay, so now we want to get into
One more thing
what's
before we go. I thought I had one more slide, but he's currently in the rebirth of Titans. After New 52 ended, Rebirth happened, and they put him back in the Teen Titans, but they call themselves the Titans now. He's back, but instead of Nightwing leading this team, it's Damian Wayne leading this team. And Damian Wayne is a tyrannical leader, as they call him. And so because of his leadership, Starfire's with them, Raven's back, Kid Flash is back, and Aqualad is here. But the team is very kind of up in the air because of Damian's impossible demands. He does have a new, I didn't see it, or I couldn't find it at the time. He has a new look, Dark Metal Knight. That's Batman's latest inclination.
the Ravager storyline is actually
Connected
to the Dark Knights.
Yeah, this is a reimagining of, they're supposed to be putting it in a graphic novel form, but it's been coming out on DC's app. Like, I think they re-released all the issues.
Well, wasn't the Batman Who Laughs part of this series?
It's
tied to it.
It's tied to it. So after the Batman Who Laughs, it's Dark Knight, Dark Knight's Metal, and that's not the only metal one they have, because they have Superman, they have Wonder Woman, but it's a darker reimagining of a world that is stemmed from the Batman Who Laughs. Isn't that the one with that's the one with Joker? Yeah. Well, the Joker is Batman's mother. Yeah. Yeah. And so it's another reimagining of this story, and he has this hulking, monstrous form connected, sort of similar to what he had in the Ravagers. And it's Raven, Beast Boy, and Nightwing as the Titans. And yeah, it's on my to read list. So that's kind of where he's at right now. There's no future state Titans, so they're not in that future state reimagining. So we're back to Ravager, Beast Boy.
All right, so some of his allies, and what we're going to do, we're going to hit more so because he was a member of so many teams. We just hit on those that he was closest to. The first being Cyborg, Victor Stone, whose first debut was in the New Teen Titans of the 80s. He is actually one of the Teen Titans that went on to join the Justice League later on in the 90s. He started out as a genius football player that basically had a tragic accident, and instead of him dying, his father came and put him back together with cybernetic parts, and you basically using information and the energy from one of Darkseid's mother boxes.
Yeah.
And the mother box basically instituted a program that basically brought him back better than ever, but now he was half man, half machine. Because of their shared sense of humor, insecurities, and friendship, CYBORG is one of Beast Boy's closest allies and best friends. And this can be seen not only in the comics or the TV series, but actually they go a step further in the comic series Teen Titans Go to show how much friends they are. So,
and I read too that when they created Cyborg's character, because they needed a person of color, first of all, in the Titans, because there are two people of color, Bumblebee and Male, left. They got married and joined. They actually joined Doom Patrol when it re-released. So they were saying how they also wanted, because it was the 80s, and they wanted this like really cool, like we're all about computers now. So they wanted a character that was connected to like this new age of computers, and that's where they got Vic from. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, because I was, I mean, it was the 80s, and racism was still very prevalent in comics. So to make him this genius character and also be like the most advanced character on the pages, like, right. This is one of my favorites here is Raven, daughter of Trigon, who is a demon, mother Ariala? Yeah. Arala. Now that was her real mom.
Yes, that's her real mom who was from the world. Exactly.
Yeah. Ah, yes, that's right. Azarak. Yeah. That's her whole thing. Yeah. Okay. Raven is a powerful empath who can sense the emotions and control her soul self, which can fight physically for her, and as well as Raven's eyes and ears away from her physical body. She's been shown to be adept at various magic and sorcery. Her story never really strays far from any of the reimaginings that DC has done in the past 20, 30 years. Raven's story hardly ever changes. She's been a member of the Teen Titans. She's been a member of Dark Justice. And I think she's been a member of the Justice League. She in the 80s, she originally approached Justice League to help her with Trigon, which is her father, because she knew that he was coming to take over her soul and then take over the earth and destroy it. But Justice League refused to help her because Zatanna told them not to help her because of her father was a demon. And we know that Justice League doesn't do well with magic. They do. That's why they created Justice League Dark. But this was the 80s, and they just refused to help her. And so she then got the sidekicks of these people to actually help her. And they were the ones that defeated the demon Trigon, which is a great storyline. If you ever get a chance to read it, go back, and if you get a copy of that new Teen Titans from the 80s, if you find the graphic novel that kind of pulls all those stories together, great story to read. What's his name? Let's see, George Perez wrote all of those, and he's also the one who, he not only rebooted New Teen Titans, he rebooted Wonder Woman in the 80s too, and which is one of the best series because he reimagined Wonder Woman and gave her that, made her a demigod, basically.
Okay, so the next on the list is Elasti-Girl and Mento, who are two of the founding members of Doom Patrol. They're a married couple, and at a point in the team's history when they actually saved Beast Boy from these criminals that were basically using him for his powers in the States, they basically saved him and brought him into the Doom Patrol. And after that, with him being a minor, they went on and adopted him as their son. Basically, the Doom Patrol, Elasti-Girl and Mento are the closest family that Garfield or Beast Boy has. but in subsequent, basically in a later fight with, I think it was Madame Rouge.
Yeah.
Is it Rogue or Rouge?
Rouge.
Okay, Madame Rouge. Elasti-Girl and Mento actually end up sacrificing themselves, and they're actually along with the rest of the Doom Patrol in order to save the world. And Garfield is actually saved from this, but now for a second time he's left parentless. It's at this time that he goes and joins the Teen Titans because he's basically looking for family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I said earlier we would revisit of what happened to Doom Patrol, the whole team was destroyed in the 70s. And that's when he goes to becomes a Hollywood actor, and he kind of Teen Titans West is his because he still couldn't join the Titans, which was interesting.
This is just conjecture here, but I'm thinking that he went to start a movie career because if you know the Elasti-Girl, his adoptive mother is the character Rita Farr. So in the Doom Patrol TV series, they show how she was a 1930s, 1940s actress that basically in one of her scenes, she was subjected to strange gas, swamp gas or something that altered her physical nature. And so now at first she wasn't able to hold it together. So that's what Doom Patrol stepped in. They Niles Calder basically got her to come stay with them, and he taught her how to control her powers. They do show Beast Boy as visiting Doom Patrol on the TV series, but they don't ever get into it. They say that he's the original family, but they don't get so far into saying that these were his adopted parents.
Because on the show, I don't think they're married.
Well, Elasti-Girl, no, they're not. Elasti-Girl is there, and I believe Mento makes an appearance, if I'm not correct.
He's not living at the house anymore.
No, he's shown, if I'm correct, it's the character he's shown as the strong man in a couple of the episodes. Yeah,
because their marriage does not last. They end up divorcing later. Yeah. This will come back to when we talk about the villains too, because a lot of Beast Boy's villains are Doom Patrol villains. So we got on the list, number 1 is Trigon. He is the father of Raven, but he's also a sadistic, cruel, dangerous, and powerful demon, except for on Teen Titans Go. He is not. Teen Titans Go, he is a little, well, he's still mean and he's still rude, but he's not really what he is. That's him on Titans, am I correct? That bottom picture? The TV show Titans, he's represented as that at the bottom. He is, well, he killed everyone around him at his own birth, first of all. That's how, including his own mother. At the age of 1, he ruled an entire planet. By the age of 6, he destroyed an entire planet. So this is what we're dealing with here. And the new Teen Titans are the ones who defeated this guy. By the age of 30, he held dominion over millions of worlds in his dimension. Raven is the connection to him that he is always trying to use Raven's powers, because she is that powerful. Like her father is always trying to.
Well, she's his action. He tricked her mother.
Yeah, he did.
Letting him impregnate her because he needed a doorway into
the Earth realm. Yeah, and Raven has always been that doorway into the Earth realm, but she's always fought him too. Right. But Beast Boy has gone up against him. Little known, he and Raven briefly dated while they were with the Titans. But their relationship was kind of on and off because of she has her daddy to deal with. And they're like, he's always optimistic, and not that he hasn't had a hard life, because as we've learned, he's had a hard life. They just have an outlook on life that is completely different. But they were a couple for a little while, and he helped her defeat her dad on multiple occasions.
Okay, next on the list is a big DC baddie, maybe one of the best.
Oh yeah.
Deathstroke. Now, Slade has a long history as one of the enemies of the Teen Titans, beginning when his son Grant received superhuman enhancements from Hive and dubbed himself as the original Ravager. Basically, Grant accepted a contract to kill or capture the Teen Titans. And what ends up happening is the Titans escape and are pursued by Deathstroke because Grant is injured. And actually, he's taken out of the fight, period. And what ends up happening is Deathstroke severely wounds Beast Boy while he's escaping because the Titans had gained the upper hand. And this is the beginning of their animosity that they have between themselves. Basically, later on, Deathstroke appears in New York holding officials hostage in order to lure the Titans into confronting him. One of the new Titans, basically TERRA and Beast Boy, were the only ones available to answer that call. During the fight, TERRA ends up knocking Beast Boy out and fights Deathstroke single-handedly in an effort to prove herself worthy of being a Titan. But somehow or another, Deathstroke escapes again as the rest of the Titans arrive. And, you know, because she stepped out on her own and tried to fight him, the other Titans basically offer her a membership to the Titans because of this. But in that same day, it was revealed that TERRA and Deathstroke had basically faked the fight so that she could infiltrate the team, so that Deathstroke could get closer to the Titans. Deathstroke has another child that goes by the name of Ravager that is also close with the Titans. And her name is Rose Wilson, and she's the current Ravager. Yeah. Okay.
And the son, if you guys ever get a chance, Knights and
another point of contention with Deathstroke, his other son.
Yeah.
His other son, and this actually plays out in the live action TV show Titans. After he loses Grant and Rose picks up the mantle of Ravager, she basically is in the wind. She really doesn't want to have anything to do with her father, but she's not really a hero at this point. His other son went by the name of, let me get it wrong. What was his other son's name? It wasn't Gemini.
Was it not Gemini?
No, it wasn't. He had a son. His son basically could possess people. Yeah. And it wasn't Gemini, but don't get me wrong, people. Let me look it up real quick.
Jericho. Yeah.
So basically, what ends up happening is Jericho goes into fight with his father, sees how evil his father is, and ends up working with the Titans. There comes a time when, in order for the Titans to escape, Jericho has to basically possess his father, and he allows them to escape. And this is what causes basically, you can say, contention between father and son, because now he's on the other side of things. In the TV show, it actually shows that while Deathstroke is battling, he's not under the guise as Robin, and he has not become Nightwing yet. But he's fighting Dick Grayson. And during that fight, Jericho actually comes in to try to stop the fight. And we realize now that in the middle of the fight, Deathstroke has basically skewered his son.
Yeah.
And it kills him. But remember, Jericho can jump from body to body in a possession, and that's how he saves himself. But it kind of breaks Deathstroke at that time.
Yeah.
You know.
There's a TV movie. Well, not TV movie. It was straight to DVD. Knights and Dragons.
Right.
It's the story he used to tell his son because Deathstroke's backstory is so muddled in what he wants you to know. Like, because when I think of Deathstroke, I kind of think of Wolverine. Right. He has similar powers to Wolverine. The military used him. We don't really know how old he is, like that type of stuff. But he was married at one time. Right. Jericho's mother was also in the military. She was secret military like him. And Knights and Dragons tells that backstory of his family. Right. Then you have Teen Titans Judas Contract, which is another great straight to DVD. I think it's on HBOMAX. Tells the exact story of Judas Contract from New Teen Titans from the 1980s. And if you really want to see the full circle of who Deathstroke is, watch Knights and Dragons first, watch Judas Contract next.
And you know, in all the evilness that they show him, I think what they've done a great job is basically showing his humanity. So once you see those two properties, you'll understand that he is not just DC's premier assassin. He's actually a real man under the costume. I really hope that movie-wise they keep, because he's in Justice League. He's in the Snyder Cut. And then the regular cut. I don't remember the regular cut. I know once you see the Snyder cut, you're like, hit the other cut. But at the end of both cuts, he's in there. And they need to go that route. Right. You need to introduce, because then you can introduce the Titans. But I doubt it. They're going to go that route because they're right. So this is Madame Rouge, who is a Doom Patrol villain, but does not stop her from being a Beast Boy villain because she has a connection to an actual Beast Boy Teen Titans villain that Roland is going to cover next. But Laura DeMille is a French stage actress. She was in an automobile accident that kind of gave her dual personalities, and she had a good side and the evil side. So she was a female member of the Brotherhood of Evil, and the Brotherhood of Evil was always against Doom Patrol. She's been romantically linked to Niles Calder, who is the chief from Doom Patrol, so they dated. But I guess that didn't go well because she's the bad guy and he's pretty much a good guy. He helped her for a little while kind of overcome her dual personalities, split personalities, and she was allied to the Doom Patrol for a while, but then she had another accident and that evil side came back out, and so she then murdered both groups. She's the murderer of the Doom Patrol. She's the one who murdered the Doom Patrol. And not only did she stop there, because when that other personality came back, she remembered all the stuff, so it was like piled upon her, so it gave her basically a fractured mind, and she went on a murderous rampage. So she kills the Doom Patrol and she kills the Brotherhood of Evil. Years later, Robot Man and the Teen Titans track down Rogue and her ally General Zal, and Beast Boy killed Rogue, and although the moment of her death her good side manifested, she forgave Beast Boy, Changeling, and called to Niles her apparent true love. So Beast Boy killed Madame Rouge, which leads us to GEMINI de Mille.
There we go.
GEMINI is the daughter of the Doom Patrol villainess Madame Rouge, and she has basically the same powers. After her mother's death, she sought revenge against the only remaining member of the Doom Patrol, Beast Boy. However, we know that Beast Boy was not the only remaining member because Robot Man
was still around. Yeah.
But,
you can't really kill Robot Man.
well, you couldn't.
You could take him apart. Yeah.
But in the comics, I think he really, just like in the TV show, he wanted to be off on its own because he had lost his family, and after this point, after losing Doom Patrol, well, after they caught up with Madame Rouge to actually kill her, then he kind of went his own way. And that left GEMINI only to come after Beast Boy. Yeah. You can go to the next one because her story is kind of tied in too much. Now, this next character, TERRA, she is the illegitimate daughter of the king of Markovia. As you know, in all the TV series, Markovia
always talking about Markovia.
Is that nation state that is, I guess they're small, not really third world, but they're smaller. I would say that if the Marvel equivalent would be Dr. Doom's little territory in that area.
His stolen land.
Right. So basically, Markovia is known for military, science, and basically metahuman research. While in Markovia, she came under the care of Dr. Helga Jace, another character who we saw in Black Lightning. Right? Through her experiments, TERRA obtained Earth manipulation power, specifically the ability to control all forms of earthen matter. She basically became an undercover hit woman and joined the Teen Titans, and she did all this at the behest of Deathstroke. And so the battle that we spoke about earlier, where she fought Deathstroke, was actually staged so that she could operate as a spy within the Titans for Deathstroke. Basically, in the comics, we see that she does this, and in the end, she really has no regrets, even though she basically befriended the Titans outside of her little vicious cycle. So they're kind of in the air about her. Well, they were in the air.
It was Beast Boy who...
Right, it was Beast Boy who was working along and basically...
said, hey, we should take her.
Right.
And he regretted that.
So basically, after they end up handling her, she's end up, I can't remember the character who ended her, but she's reanimated during the Blackest Night saga.
I think she was killed by Deathstroke by accident. It was during battle, and she went to save Beast Boy, and she's crushed by, like...
I do remember she's crushed. I can't remember who crushed her.
But I think it was because of Deathstroke, like something he did. Because I remember reading the comic, and I was like, dang, that sucks. Because he was really, like, even though you could tell by this point, he's already told her, look, I used you to do this. Our relationship, everything was all a lie. When the rocks crush her, it's this whole, like back in the day, you know, everything that they thought they put in the bubble, lots of words, and he regretted.
Right. Well, you know what? So watch this. If you think that sucked, in the first issue of Blackest Night, the Titans, Blackest Night, they reanimated TERRA as a Black Lantern. And hit her to seduce Beast Boy. But he, I mean, if he saw that she was a Black Lantern, of course he wouldn't have failed for that. But his old teammate Lilith, who had also been reanimated and was actually one of the stronger Black Lanterns, basically cast an illusion so that you could not see that she was a zombie corpse. And that's how she got back in. They thought that she had come back, that she was not dead. Well, they thought that she was not dead. You know, it's the comics.
Yeah, I know.
And as you can see, there's a horrible picture right here from the first issue of that series, Blackest Night. and it shows her seducing Beast Boy with her decayed appearance. But yeah, Terra ends up basically being destroyed again during the Blackest Night. So she is no longer a character that is with us unless they're going to bring her back with the Titans.
They haven't.
In the future state at another point.
And you got to remember her, and her, I don't know if they're going to bring her on the TV show of Titans. They may, because she is a prominent character that solidified the Teen Titan, the Titans as a team, because without her, their bond would not have been as close. And you see that in New Teen Titans because she portrayed them. It was almost like, well, who can we trust here? And there's this big thing, but then they start to really become a family after that. Because her portrayal, again, I recommend Teen Titans Judas Contract. Teen Titans, the Cartoon Network series, also did a arc of this. I think it was like 3 episodes. This is the series not Teen Titans Go, but series Teen Titans, the one that came before Teen Titans Go. They did a 3-episode arc with introducing Terra, and it's the Judas Contract story. So all of them are done really well. I don't know why that story sits with me, because I don't know, maybe it's because Deathstroke used a child for his ploy. And did it, I mean, he was going after literal teenagers, and he used a fellow teenager who he was also dating, even though he was lying to her and putting on this relationship. It got creepy. I'm just gonna say, the comic says a lot. Even Judas Contract, the animated movie, which is probably PG-13 rated. It's not rated R, I know that much, but it's PG-13 because what the comics alluded to, like in the 80s, Judas Contract, the movie, just showed you, and I was like, oh, no. But I think what they did in the more modern one, they cleaned it up a little bit and made it be like she was like 18 or 19, and yeah, like she was making herself look younger to be a Titan, lying about her age to the Titans, whereas the 80s, she was younger and dealing with this old man. So the Me Too movement had not happened yet, but you know, it was comics. So yeah, but she's one of their, I think, like I said, she's the thing that solidified them, the enemy that solidified them. It was not necessarily Deathstroke, because Deathstroke comes back, you know.
You know, every storyline normally has 2 different enemies, one that's going to make the physical happen, and then one that's going to make the emotional happen. And I think she was more of the emotional spin. She was. All right. So here we're just showing you guys examples of the Titans in other media. This here is the live action HBOMAX, and you can see Beast Boy everywhere. He's green. At the current time, we have only seen him turn into a Titan. That's all he turns into on the TV show. Might be a budget.
Probably so, because Titans premiered on DC Universe, and when that got canceled, it's on HBO Max. So they might probably have some more money now that they've conglomerated to another Warner Brothers. And did you know that he was a vegetarian?
Yeah, they said something about that in the TV show.
Yeah, he does not eat. Beast Boy is a vegetarian because he connects with the red.
Yeah, because even in his tiger form, the first time that he killed on the TV show, he was kind of vexed by it. He's like, I don't like it.
Yeah, he doesn't like the taste of it. Next, we have Young Justice, which premiered on Cartoon Network, but now is on HBO Max. I don't know if they're going to do a season 4. They did a season 3 on DC Universe because that was a big issue. It was going to be on Netflix, and then they canceled that and did it on their own platform. But then they canceled their own platform. So I'm guessing if there are going to be any new seasons on Netflix, we can only hope for, because This is a great show, but he isn't a member. He came in season 3, if I'm not mistaken. But he is a member of the Young Justice, and I think that is Stephanie Brown next to him in that picture. I got the Batman symbol on them. But Young Justice was started by Batman, so yeah. And we'll let you do this one.
All right, so with the, how can you say, the popularity of Teen Titans, and we're talking about the regular cartoon Teen Titans. With the popularity of Teen Titans and the fact that Marvel turned around and issued a cartoon called, what was it called? Marvel, the Superhero Squad? Marvel Superhero Squad.
Yeah,
where all the superheroes were imagined as pint-sized versions of themselves, not really kids. They still had their adult attitudes and everything, but everything was pint-sized and put out there for kids to enjoy it and storylines that they could enjoy. Well, DC came back and did a one-up, and they came with Teen Titans Go on Cartoon Network. And it is, I honestly think it's one of the most hilarious cartoons out there. Especially if you realize how they take the seriousness of the Teen Titans storylines and then flip them into the oddest TV.
Yeah, the oddest thing you're gonna watch on TV.
That you could ever see. Right here, we see a picture in the middle, him and Ray. They have a relation. Well, they have an on-again, off-again relationship on the cartoon. It's more or less like they're teens, and she likes him, but she's not really studying him. He's just constantly just getting at her, throwing lines and everything, and telling all the stuff that he'll do for her. When I tell you, it's hilarious. Down here in the corner, we had, well, not in the corner, in the lower center. This is actually one of the Teen Titans Go, where he visited his old family, the Doom Patrol. So that's that. And off to the side, that's Teen Titans and De La Soul. I thought I was say that.
So yeah, I think like I've not watched Doom Patrol yet, but I've seen a couple of episodes, but I haven't jumped into it. And Doom Patrol just kind of seems like my
Doom Patrol can get quite hilarious too, even though it's.
I think of it like when I watch Legends tomorrow.
Well, it's
like
a little bit more serious.
It's more serious than Legends.
They're way serious. It's definitely
but it's just funny
and serious, more serious than Legends, but it's hilarious. I mean, you got to think about it. You have Robot Man who
don't want to be there.
Don't want to be there. Matter of fact, doesn't even realize why his brain is in a metal can.
Yeah, he does not.
And you have a character who basically has
the Invisible Man.
No, the split personality.
Oh yeah, Jane. Crazy Jane.
Crazy Jane.
Yeah.
You know, and half of the episodes actually take place in her mind.
Yeah.
So that makes it full.
I gotta get on it. I know it's on HBOMAX.
When Beast Boy comes in, he just visits.
Yeah.
You know,
he's not, because he's already on Titans, so they can't do it. All right, so today was a pretty short and sweet one. We got our works cited here. You know, check them out. Get some in-depth looks at some of these characters. Just a reminder, we have Comics Plus on claytonpl.org. You can go to our learning and research tab, go to ebooks and all of that good stuff, and use your library card to get Comics Plus. This gives you access to thousands of comics. So if you can't make it into the branch and you have a tablet or a computer that you want to download these to, you can do that, and there's no holes, no weight on it. So you download it, you're reading it. I don't know what the limit is. I think the limit is like 10. You have like 10 downloads, 10 or 15. I'll have to look into that. And you can also, once you download them, you can read them offline. So that's my favorite part, because once I download something, I don't necessarily have to read it right then and there connected, but I can read it whenever I want.
you don't get the message something happened like
yeah. Oh, wait, I don't have access to the internet. So yeah, yeah, so please check that out. It's a great addition to the library. On top of, you could still come in and check out graphic novels at your local branch. So visit one of your local branches. If you can't find it at that branch, I suggest placing a hold and picking it up from a branch you can. We are still open to the public, and we go to regular hours to July 6th. So we'll be back open our regular hours. Come in, say hi to us. We will be here starting at 9 a.m. every day, except for Saturdays. Next up, on July 13th, so 2 weeks from today, we will be covering one of Marvel's first superheroes, if I'm not mistaken. Was he not Marvel's first superhero? Yeah, before Marvel became Marvel, he was Marvel's first superhero.
But he was not even a superhero.
No,
he was actually an enemy.
Yes, he was. And he was an enemy who was leading his own publication too. Like the anti-hero, Submariner, we'll be covering him. And I'm excited about this because he's the one person I would actually want to see a movie of that they have not done a movie of. And I'm sure it has something to do with they don't own the rights to it. So
the storyline, they got a dope one that is supposed to, that they want to bring him out on, and it's probably going to be more than likely, spoiler alert, the next Black Panther.
Oh,
because
okay.
There's
a connection between him.
Well, there's a war that goes on between Wakanda and Atlantis over resources.
Yes.
So,
and we all know King Namor is not Aquaman is his DC counterpart, but he was first. And he is no Aquaman. I mean, Aquaman is pretty much all things Atlantis, but he'll come out the water every once in a while. Namor does not.
Remember, Aquaman is half human, half Atlantean.
He is all Atlantean.
Namor is all Atlantean and mad.
Yes, at human beings.
That the human beings are basically throwing their trash into the ocean.
Yeah, that, and he has quite a few beefs with quite a few characters in the Marvel universe and does not mind to show it. But we will jump into him next time, and we look forward to you guys joining us. So for our banter on Submariner and his whole family around him. So we will see you guys July 13th.
You guys have a happy July the 4th.
There we go. It's right. Next Sunday. Well, this upcoming Sunday. I'm so behind. I feel like it's last week, but yeah.
Monday to get caught up.
That's true. That's true. But all right. We'll see you guys next